After victory at the Combat of the 30, the French faced devastating raids from England's Black Prince. But France's King John II was closing in. Jean finally caught the English near the city of Poitiers in September 1356. The French army outnumbered the English by thousands. King Jean himself joined the fight, but what seemed a certain victory for France soon turned into a nightmare. The English longbow devastated the mighty French army. An endless hail of arrows gutted the main French force. Then the English captured King Jean. The fight was over. The Battle of Poitiers was another catastrophic defeat for the French. The English had destroyed most of France's nobility in a single day. Now they turned their attention towards taking the French capital, Paris. The invaders marched unopposed towards Paris. The remains of some of the medieval walls of Paris still stand today. As the English army approached, the terrified locals sought shelter behind these defenses. Could France's capital withstand the full might of the Black Prince's army? The English Black Prince had raided the French countryside without mercy. And now his army had come for the capital. With the English on their doorstep, it fell to the French army and the people of Paris to defend the walls of their proud city. Hoping to avoid open battle, the French began fortifying the city, manning the walls and calling every available soldier to his post. As the French hastened their preparations, several detachments of English soldiers were spotted closing in on the city.
Besoigné à faire? Oil, si toast. Attendez les commandements, Manon.
Attendez les commandements, Manon. En Kemin.
Oyez les ordonnances. Marchiez arrière, moi prestos.
Manons, praise
The English showed no mercy, burning their way to Paris via 3 routes, each of which was home to villages and farms that supplied the capital.
Bonne besoigne de fait. Vayez-moi.
Vayez-moi besoin. Excusez-moi. Besoin. Si vous exploitiez, vayez-moi besoin. Oh, me faut trahir. Besoigné à faire. Il trahit, il faut donc besoigné.
Que faut-il donc besoigner? Oui, David.
Oil, mestir des mouets. Lasst moi exploiter. Hier est ma toute vie. Oh, me faut trahir.
Uns oltre Versailles.
De vers Ulf foltit Archier.
Chessmets Moskau. Avant. Aubelestier. Avant. Allons.
Oh, me faut bien, wees. Weg hier, Meriens.
Besoin à faire. Pour savoir mestir de bois.
Oil, mestière de mouet. Donc, qui a l'oreille.
En besoin. Je veux ça mérite. Vaillez moi besoin. Tous y a la.
Bayez mouet besoin.
Oyez les ordonnances.
Lors de nos salaires.
Oh, me faut.
Having struck out at the English front line, the French had slowed the enemy's advance.
Lors bâtis de s'essuie. Besoin à faire.
Ici.
Presse porte compagnon. Ayez bien de cure.
Allons, ça part main. Sur Aubel.
Ayez de cure. Mon arc est preste. J'ai l'arc, j'y veille.
Jensvex. Se les avions au moins. Aïe.
Elle besoin, si vais explosion.
Uns oltre Les autres compagnons, croyez-tu besoin?
Vaillez moi besoin.
As the French continued to rally their army, the English took the last of the surrounding villages and had almost encircled Paris.
Longtemps va-t-il demeurer?
Que faut-il donc éloigner?
Ici Novels commandements. Sigrid Smoué, preux comme Poisson. Compagnie bien, savait, baignez,
Presse porte. Cesmet vos, Archiers.
With the countryside in flames and the English at the city gates, the French armies steeled themselves for battle. Now came the capital's true test. Would the mighty walls of Paris hold against a fearsome English siege?
Besoin à faire?
The Parisian guard raised the alarm as the English began their first assault on the city walls.
Que faut-il donc besoin? Un besoin. Veille à la mine. Bayez mouet besoin. Lors bâtis, je sais.
Les Novels commandements qui pointent sous esther. Faites son soleil de votre espèce. Chut à ennemi.
Vaillez moi besoin. En besoin.
Que faut-il donc besoin ici?
Besoin de nos attentes, maintenant.
Je vais rappareiller ce manuel.
Allons, Sparadier. Surveille à votre commandement. Sigrid Smoué, preux compagnon. Schottenpère à vos advices. Fais ici. Avance à mon commandement. qui obéit à vos commandements. Les chevolcheurs. On arrange pour l'avouer.
Lancier en place. Archère.
Compagnon, commandement pour les chevolcheurs. J'offre le père à vos amis. Givrez de s'extraire.
The French army fought valiantly, repelling the first English attack.
Dites-moi mon message. Monarque est prêt. Archir, attention.
Besoin d'y faire.
Advertance, tout le monde. Giovanni,
Besoin d'y faire.
Réussi nouvelles commandements.
Manuel a subi. Belle œuvre.
Que faut-il donc besoigner?
Oyez, tout le monde.
M besoin.
Oyez, Veichi, commandement.
Lors bâti, je s'estuie.
Accord.
Lors bâti, je s'estuie.
Bien oyez.
Monarque est prêt. Archère. Archers, obéis au commandement. Guerre à Parmay. Je confirme. Veichi, commandement.
Oil, mestière de moi.
Arrête tout le monde.
Transporte Archers. Archers en avoué. Le vers à Chespesvos. Archers. Que ferai-je donc?
Oyez bien, compagnon. Reste votre plaisir. Relève appareil. Ici, les frères. À Chespetsvos. Une suisse de vos services. Oui, tous vos commandements.
Attendez les commandements.
Oil, mestier des mouets.
Advertance, tout le monde.
Bien œillé.
Giovanni Bastille.
Bayez moi besoin. À votre commandement.
Bref,
Incontinent. Access was on way.
Ace, compagnon. Nos alliances. In Chespetsvos. Les chevolcheurs.
Chevalier, votre avant. Compagnon. Thomas on command. Je suis votre serveur. Je commande. Avant.
Incontinent.
Attendez les commandements. En votre service. Retraignez vos amouets. Inconfident. Qui se tiennent nos artistes. Obéir, c'est vos amis.
Allons, à part Sibel.
Archers!
Obelest, unite.
Archers!
Chessmen vos Obelest, acoustrets vos Angels. Avance. Chessmen, je gagne mon gain.
Et obscur.
Comme il vous plaît. En Montpellier, acoustrets vos Sporting Weapon. Obelest vos, Chessmen vos. Sibel.
Archers! Oh yes, command on the equip!
Obelestier.
Archers! Archers!
Chessmen vos, ça, compagnon. Chessmen, je gagne mon gain.
L'heure est de votre courage.
Archers! Prenez vos armes!
The French defense of their capital held firm, wearing down the English invaders one by one.
Les réparements. Je vais rappareiller ce manoir.
Très important. Archers! Archers! Oh yes, commandement!
Nous allons.
Dites-moi mon Versailles.
Honorez. À l'arsenal, chevalier. Si comme
Archers, faites fort!
Obelest, nice. Match de pas. Comme il vous plaît. Unite.
Dites-moi mon Versailles.
Que faut-il donc besoigner?
Besogne après.
Excusez-moi.
Hostia Lores.
Prête l'ennemi. Inquiète boss. Donnez-moi puissance. Ça est
Attendez, les commandements.
Chessmen boss. Oui, à part En besoin.
Oh yes, les ordonnances. Lors bâti de s'estuie.
Besoin à faire.
Avertan seulement. Artillerie ouais, très tous.
Melior talent.
Chessmen vos aviamen.
Thomas on ordonnance.
Quoi faut-il faire?
Reste tous subtraits.
Oil, messieurs des mouets.
Chevalier Barbaske. In Constantine s'excite. Chevalier apertisez vostre courage, compagnon.
Veille, commandement.
Although the walls of Paris had been breached, the French could still hold the city.
Vos armées.
so long as its mighty landmarks did not fall. The enemy grew ever more desperate as their ranks thinned and their hopes of victory faded.
Manans, resta a Euré. Giovanni Bastir.
Obeleste pareil.
Oyed.
Lance d'avance de salaire. Giovanni Bastir. Oh, me faut trahir. Compagnon, un coup de poing. Avant, compagnon. Ben ici, laisse commande de masse. À chest med force. Laisse en jambe. Oyed dead, compagnon. Alors, ça va, mec. À chest med force. Oyed, excusez-moi. Oui, à chest med force. Comme il vous plaît. Ben ici, chest med force,
The ruthless English army began burning the great Parisian landmarks. The French were running out of time to expel the enemy from their city. Defeated and demoralized by the strength of the French defense, the Black Prince's army abandoned their siege of the capital. Paris celebrated victory, but this was not the last test the French would face in their struggle to win the war. The battlefields of the 100 Years' War were full of danger. To defend against these weapons, a new type of armor was developed: plate armor.
Plate armor clad the knight in an articulating exoskeleton of hardened steel. A hard outer shell that still flexes and moves with the body.
It provided impressive protection and was an extraordinary technological achievement.
Now, one of the ways that armor gets its strength is through shape. Both of these pieces are made out the exact same thickness as steel, but I can show you there's one stronger than the other. Here's the one with no shape. You see it buckles immediately. If I swap it for one that's been forged to have strength and shape, you can see it's much stronger. It's going nowhere.
It wasn't just the shape that gave it strength. It was also how the metal was treated by the armorer.
Now, the benefits of using heat is it obviously makes the piece more plastic, more ductile, lets me shape it. But the fuel also adds layers of carbon into the outer surface. This helps me increase the hardness and strength of the material.
The art of the armorer was being able to judge the temperature of the metal by eye, managing the heat to create resilience in the metal. The combination of heat-treated metal and rigid shapes meant that armor didn't need to be so thick and heavy, making it much easier to fight in. But good quality plate armor did have its downside. It was very expensive.
Now, not everyone could afford full steel plate armor. For the common man, there is the brigandine. Now, these are made up of overlapping steel plates that are then riveted through a textile outer. This gives you a much bigger range of movement, but is limited and is not as strong as a full steel breastplate. That said, it is much cheaper and much easier to maintain.
At its best, the armored knight was invincible. But armor didn't just provide defense. It was also a weapon and an expression of a knight's power and prestige. Armor transformed its wearer into a work of art.